Greetings and salutations, motorsport lovers and others, and welcome to a crazy day. A day of Dakar that I've caused bang bang explosions, crash boom bang. It was exciting. My name is Colin.
I'm Clifford, and that took me by surprise, but that's beautiful.
It took me by surprise as well. It was a massive day. End of the Chrono stage, stage 2. And it was a 967 kilometers of racing altogether. And just before we went on air, I thought that we had all the timing sorted out. And then it changed. Let's go through the story of the day in the cars. First of all, no apologies today. I think I did a good job yesterday. So there was a massive fight right at the front. Al Rajhi, Al Attiyah, Loeb, Ekstrom. They all went out and had a full-on go at the dunes. This was a day of moving. This was a day of making up time and sorting out where the positions are for the rest of the day. Al Rajhi led most of the day. Now there's a difference between the timing, which we'll show you later, and what actually happened in real life, because there were penalties and time delays that were applied before, and then there were penalties applied during the stage. So we ended up with a surprise of about a couple of minutes ago as the timing screen did its whole jiggle, and we got a proper Dakar surprise. Al Attiyah, Al Rajhi, and Ekstrom and Loeb, all of them went out fighting. The first one to bail was Ekstrom, and he stopped. He's got an issue, so he's a little bit further down the order. Then Loeb had some issues. And then we started getting the news out of the Toyota camp, where Bottrell and Cummings, Bottrell they were having a really, really good run. And then they started hearing noises from the diff and vibrations, and then it ground to a stop, the rear diff. And in the sand, the front wheels was digging it in, so they had to reverse the thing out, and they lost massive time. The timing that I've got on here, around about 3 hours, 16, 17 minutes, they lost. So they've fallen back quite a lot. Loeb was on an absolute fly, where he started off 37 minutes this morning behind Al Rajhi and clawed back to get 13 minutes behind. Lategan and Cummings, Henk and Brett, and we talked to them a little bit later. They started off 11 minutes off Al Rajhi, ended up 4 minutes. So Al Rajhi even though he finished first on the road, the results say that he finished second, because he did get a speeding penalty. Other penalties, Nasser Al Attiyah got a 4-minute, Matthew Serradori got a 3-minute penalty, and he came in 6th position in the Century. Really, really good result for the Centuries. Loeb, with his 10-second penalty, ended up 7th. And then during the day, there was in refueling yesterday, and competitors who didn't complete the refueling in time had that time added on to their overall time. So stewards' decisions started coming up early, and Rion's got a copy of this decision. We'll put it up there and show you what it actually means. So essentially, Bakayuska and Mena in the overdrive racing car, they ended up having time that they weren't racing, they were finishing the refueling, and that counted as part of the racing time. So during the day, they were further down the field. Now in that decision, they got their time back. Thanks, Rion. So they end up winning the stage, Rokas and Mena. And Yazid is second, Jacopini in another Toyota is third, and then Lategan Cummings in another Toyota. So you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the stage for the Toyotas. Then Nasser in the Dacia, Serradori in the Century. Are you noticing how many South African cars are here in the lead of the race? Then Loeb, Ekstrom in the first of the Fords, Toby Price, Sam Sunderland in another Toyota. And then guess what? Benedictus Vanegas in another Toyota. So South Africa dominates completely. That was the story of the race. A couple of other things that I've got, notes that I've made just on this massive stage. Baragwanath had power steering issues yesterday before they went to sleep. They managed to sort out that they put some power steering fluid in it, but he ran out of power steering, luckily after the dunes. Other notes that I've got, Nanny Roma, gone, mechanical issue. Toyota, the note I have was is crash, boom, bang. And that was Janelle de Villiers and Solwood Variawa, right near the end at kilometer 924. There was a lot of dust, and the two cars occupied the same place at the same time. Janelle ended up losing about 2.5 hours, and Variawa a lot of hours, about 8 hours. Cars were badly damaged, and I'm led to believe that there were minor sort of kind of bruising for the crews. We led to believe that they all are okay and they will go and fight. So there was furious activity in the Gazoo Racing camp, and we were told that around about 9 o'clock tonight, their time, 8 o'clock our time, that Janelle's car should be up and running. So sadly, that 2.5 hours that he's lost with the competitive bit that we've got at this race, it's a lot of time this early in the race, but it's a hugely long race. Other notes that I've got, Bottrell 3 hours, Puck Claassen and Sharon Moore, they did finish.
Oh, nice.
So that was, we haven't spoken about Sharon and Puck for, that's I think the first time they got a mention.
Time. You're doing well. I'm so
Seragori did incredibly well. It's been a crazy day.
Has been a crazy day in the cars. Bikes, not so much. Daniel Sanders, he makes it 3 consecutive wins, so flying the orange flag. And Skylar House coming good, finishing second, and Sharon in third. So good day for Honda, good day for KTM. Ross Branch finished in 5th, and then we've got Bradley Cox down in 12th. Aaron May, he finished 28th on the stage with Dwayne Barnard 79th. Interesting one, Mason Klein, the American on the Cove, spent a lot of time in the desert today, but he is running, but way down the field. And then Willem Avenant, no word yet whether he's finished the stage yet or not. He's missed a waypoint, so he's out in the wilderness right now. So yeah, what does that mean for overall? So Sanders has stretched his legs here, because from what Bradley Cox said in some of his interviews is that they rode in convoy for most of the race, but it looks like some of the guys stretched their legs in the faster bits towards the end. Bit of a shock tactic. So overall we've got Sanders, Howes, Ross Branch is still third, and then we've got Sharana, Ricky Brabeck had a bit of a rough day. Bradley Cox is 10th in the GP with Aaron May 18th. And then Rally 2, good one for Michael Doherty. So he finished the stage today in 7th, winning the Rally 2 stage. So good one for him. So
pretty good
that. Right of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he now occupies 2nd spot in Rally 2, 4 minutes behind that hotshot Edgar Canet from Spain. So yeah, looking good for him. He's come good early, so a lot of time to make up 4 minutes in the race, so interesting time. And then for those of you that are interested, top 10, 4 KTMs, Honda 5 in the top 10, 1 Hero and a Partridge in a Pear Tree, and that's about it on the bikes at this stage. Only 3 guys have withdrawn, and not ones that we'd be too worried about. So looking good. So
we worry about everybody. We respect everybody that races.
Yeah, but I'm more worried about us African boys. I just want them to come home safe and with lots of trophies and medals.
Remember, you can give us your questions, comments, queries, and corrections for what we do. The socials we've got our team active in the back and next to me, so send us all your comments. I on the most impressive drive today was Daniel Schroeder and Henry Cohn. They had some problems yesterday where the car stopped, and they lost 5-6 hours, a whole bunch. And they started this morning. It was an intermittent problem. They initially thought it was a crack sensor, and then they changed that, some wiring, throttle bodies, and then the thing just fired up and carried on going. So it was one of those problems where it got fixed, but they don't know what the problem was. The most horrible kind of problem you can have. Woke up this morning, and they started 6 hours and 37 minutes behind Yazid Al-Raji. At the end of the day, they were 6 hours and 39 minutes behind Yazid Al-Raji. They lost 2 minutes during the day today off Al-Raji, which I think is quite a magnificent performance. When that car goes, a WCT thing with a GTR motor, it's not the Ford motor. It's a GTR Amarok, and it apparently is very, very quick. So the pictures I saw earlier was that they were working hard. We do have an interview with Daniel Schroeder. It was a recorded one earlier. The signal in the bivouac is absolutely terrible at the moment. One would think that there would be Starlink active in Saudi, but I don't know why there isn't. So let's have a listen to Daniel Schroeder and Henry Cohn as they share some of the experience of the day.
Yeah, so we tried the whole Formula 1 pit stop thing in cross-country racing. Takes a bit longer, the wheels weigh a bit more. We had a rock stuck in a caliper, but we got it out, and the guys did a brilliant job of changing the whole brake disc and everything around it. But then at kilometer 250, we lost power. We lost 5 to 6 hours with the electrical problem. We got that sorted after a while, got it going again, and then we did another 200 Ks, 250 Ks in the dark, which was fun as well and interesting. A lot of giggles in the car, but luckily no moments. And we never got to get out. Daniel did a brilliant job driving in the dark through those dunes. It's some soft stuff with the winds blowing over the edges, so you can't see where the drop is. But we made it. And then today we pushed. I don't think I stopped pushing the Sentinel button the whole way today. We overtook so many cars that it just kept going. But we did a great job. Daniel drove fantastically. We struggled with the one waypoint, but everyone else did as well. We found it. Some guys didn't. And we got to the end. That's the important part. The technicians have a long night ahead of them. We're making them work hard, unfortunately. Sorry for that, guys. But tomorrow we've got another day, and we can play our joker, and we can start a bit earlier, just to make sure that we can keep up there with the guys.
I also must say it was great. Not great, but we made the best out of it, because yesterday was sketchy in the dark. And we stuck well together as a team, and we pushed through. Our spirits were always high. That was the main thing. So even push through the bad times and still have fun. I think that's the way to go. And the next day comes, and as you can see, you can, even though the one day is bad, the next day can be quite good. So we're actually overwhelmed and happy.
Well, that joker that he's talking about, Cliff, is quite an important thing. So if you have a really bad day, which they had or finishing in the stage, they're able to play the joker and start a lot higher. So at least they don't have to drive so much in the dust. And they've got a chance of putting up a good time. But they certainly have opened their eyes a bit. And I know Justin and the team, the two guys are with him, working really hard on that thing, making sure they keep it going. There's another one of the South African cars.
They seem in good spirits, though. I mean, when you're having a day like that, it's easy to throw your toys, but they seem in good spirits. Seems like they're enjoying the Dakar, and I think that's also what it's about.
Yeah, it's always relatively easy to be in good spirits when you've had a chance to recover. I saw some of the chats with Guy Bottrell, Shami, Saud Varial has been very, very quiet. And, Guy had a Anadeus terribilis. And it's going to take a bit to regroup tonight and have a go. We'll listen to Henk and Brett a little bit later. But you must have some of the
We've got
questions
some
and
stuff.
queries at the
Yeah.
moment.
So Cass Kruger is not impressed with our timekeeping. She said, so we are now in the ish part of 23. But in Colin's defense, because his makeup is so much quicker than mine because he's so beautiful. But with the results changing backwards and forwards, it was a bit of a squabble here before we went live.
Yeah, we do apologize, but ish is a technical term. The definition thereof is under debate at time.
Sure. Peter Bell, good evening, Colin and your team. Johan Pins, bad day for Janelle and Bottrell. Lucas will have to step up and support Henk. Bentley Matafu, let's get it rolling. So also not impressed with our timekeeping. Also said NASA 6 minutes and Yazid 4-minute penalties.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's not...
And those are speeding penalties. They may get changed. You know, it's one of those fluid things. You'll recall right in the beginning of this program, or the race, I said that we should be patient and wait for the results. And the way these things are changing, and names were going up and down like a yo-yo. I can think of it.
Yeah, you were enjoying that. I enjoyed watching you enjoy it. It was very interesting. Jankin's guy got a no finish off the stage. Sorry for him. His Dakar is over. Who are we referring to there? Could be Avenant? Is that what we're referring to?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was momently distracted with some
Yeah,
of the...
I know there's hot chicks messaging you as we speak. Eben Marburg, more than 50% of the cars are built in SA. Yeah, 100%. What is the percentage there? It's more than that, isn't it?
It was 53.6, I think it
Yeah,
was.
it's like-
Of the 64 cars that were entitled to start, 33 were made in South Africa, according to the notebook.
And then Bentley Matafu, here comes a bit of controversy. What happened to the Toyotas hitting each other? Who hit who? The official statement makes no sense.
Well, because we don't know. There's a whole lot of speculation, and until you hear it from either of the horses' jockeys' mouths and see the video, we don't know. What we do know is that the cars were very close to each other. There was a whole bunch of dust. They were unsighted and they collided. Some are saying it was front to back, others are back up the front up the back, and so there's confusion. I'd rather wait, shut up, and get some facts. It doesn't matter who's to blame. You've got a situation with one car that's repaired and one car that's badly broken, and the whole rhythm of the event is upset. The camp is now in turmoil. You have to rearrange things because we've got Henk Lategan in the overall lead. We'll talk about the overall things at the moment. And for Toyota, the armada of Toyota cars, they're fighting off two very, very determined Dacias. There will be a third one there. Christina Gutierrez will probably start again tomorrow. The whole thing being rebuilt and refreshed and all the rest of it. Ford are in the most precarious position. They've got Ekstrom and Mitchell Guthrie right up there. Carlos Sainz he'll probably take a joker tomorrow to try and get a little bit up, and no doubt Carlos will go for glory, but we're talking about future. Back to the questions.
Right, Craig Galvin, he's called us out, but we covered it before we got to this, so I feel like
let's go there.
blanketed it over. Hi guys, always a great show. I know we're concentrating on the top guys, but nobody's mentioned Tay Perry and the Yank, or Puck Larson and Sharon Moore. So Puck Larson we did cover. Tay Perry and the Yank.
Okay, and the Yank. I love how he knows Corbin Leviton's name. Now, we were going to get there in the overalls because, well, now that we're here, they're sitting in 24th position overall, and that's in the cars, which is quite impressive. I think they are 4th overall in the side, whatever they call them now, the side-by-side thingies. They are 1 hour, 22 minutes off the lead, and the lead overall is Henk Lategan. So that's quite impressive after 15 odd hours of racing.
Yeah.
Those things are quick. And they don't have to have belts now. They've got sequential gearboxes. I'm told 60,000 euros a gearbox.
I'll take 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and a waiting list of about 8 months.
Okay, right. Well, then I will only take 1 then. Cas Kruger, I mean, we've sort of covered this, but speculation from our side, seeing the photos of the vehicles, it seems very old with T-Bone Janelle.
No, there wasn't a T-bone from what we understand, but let's wait for the facts.
And then Bentley, Cas Kruger from the picks, doesn't seem like it. It's racing, no blame, but we were all in the dust line. And yeah, basically, racing, anything can happen, Cas Kruger's response. Yuri O'Don, well done Henk and Brett. Leandra Prinsloo says, hi guys. Hi.
Hi.
Angelo Marsilia, how's it, Colin? Everyone else? That's me. I'm everyone else.
Yeah.
In the vastness
Some
of the
guy who
desert.
knows a little bit about bikes.
What are the chances you hit your teammate? I wish I placed a bet on that. Stranger things have happened. But it's never good for a team dynamic when that happens.
Especially when one of them is the team owner's son.
Yeah. I mean, how to shorten up your contract, eh?
Well, the contract, I'm told, was virtually very, very short.
So then go
Already.
flat out, eh? Mark Pearson.
How to make friends and influence people.
Mark Pearson, Willem did make it to the finish today. Okay, so maybe not updated by the time we checked, but yeah, I had no official timing on tracking the Dakar. Angela Marsilia, the rose amongst the thorns. Donovan Thompson, it needs a V6 engine. And
Which one?
Yeah, and Mike Lawrence says, yeah, GTR. So I'm
I
thinking
got it
that's
right,
about
Mark. Thank you.
I think he's referring to your Fords, eh?
Now, it's still the best sounding cars ever. Flat plane V8, revving above 7.5. Love it. It's like an angel singing.
Marcus Labaskachny, go Henk and Brett. Travel Media Group. Cheers from Cabo San Lucas, Baja, South Mexico. Thanks for the coverage.
Hola, senor.
Yeah, that was a mouthful.
I love that. Eh?
Johan Grobler, are the shocks on the T1 Plus cars hydraulic or pneumatic? Can't believe those don't overheat.
They get very, very hot. They are generally very well cooled. And you'll see on the ducting on the back of the cars, there's lots of air coming in. And on the canisters, you'll see a lot of fins on it, rather like an air-cooled motorbike.
Yeah.
Pretty much like that. So they all are hydraulic.
Cas Kruger comes back to your repair thoughts and says, if you can't fix it with Q20 or a hammer, you have an electrical problem.
There's
cable
you're
ties
right.
It's cable ties and
ties, duct tape. What was the other one?
chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
And hopes and dreams. That's normally what I race with. Rachard Wasserman, love the show, guys. Hashtag DBAC, don't be a chicken, or don't be a Carlos, or don't be a colon.
A chop.
That's also, there's a new
There's
one.
only one rule in life. You know, the guy came out, he had a whole lot of rules written in stone, but you only need one.
Purple Haze, good evening, everyone. Andrew Spark, I need that shirt. This is where you sell your shirt.
This is where we sell the shirts.
This is where we sell the shirts.
We will have the link up in the next day or two for you to place your orders. There's an English version, so it changes the last letter from a C to a D.
Yeah, there's a bit here going backwards and forwards with Johan Grobler, Eben Marburg. Johan Grobler, the little bit of the CFD done on the cars goes into the cooling. The wheel wells have enough free flow for okay flow over the dampers. That's basically covers what you were going through. King Kone seems quite upbeat. Alexis Lessing, have told my daughters that my shirt means don't be a clown. Or don't be a Colin. I feel like that's hurtful.
Nice. Thanks, boys. Pick on me today, all right?
It seems like today is your day, hey?
Ah,
Johan Pins, hi, just want to know if the official timekeepers gave Bottrell a no-stage finish. Don't know if it is true.
No, it's not. He did get a proper finish because he did drive over the line. However, He did miss some waypoints, and we're waiting for the officials to finish officialing, and then they'll issue another one of the decisions they've made. And while we're on the thing of decisions, Rion, just a little bit of a heads up. You remember that long document? I'm not sure if you had a chance to scrunch it up, but it's about 17 pages long of decisions that they made. Don't worry, it's, you know, if you take a phone and you've got to flick, it's way too long to read, of all the different decisions, and this one speeding and that one, oh, it's a pain. So when we've got a little bit of more calmness and we're not under show deadline, it will all come out with the penalties for tomorrow. So it's, you know, as things are going, this timing is absolutely dynamic. It's changed twice since we've been on the show already. So we wait in anticipation.
Moving on here, we're almost at the end of the first batch. Bentley, IC said all the way around, but Janelle is definitely the best support car one can ever get. Henk is lucky. That's a valid point. Cass Kruger says, Pierce, Colin and Cliff, all comments are tongue and cheek. Love your show. We know it takes a lot to hurt our feelings.
And just to go back to what we were talking about, Guy Bottrell, Dennis Murphy, car 205, they are now in position 133. They have 10 hours and 15 minutes of penalties. So they are 28 hours, 16 minutes, and 54 seconds behind the overall leader, their teammate, Henk Lategan and Brett Cummings. So that's the kind of thing, you know, that happens. They missed 2 waypoints and they got the penalties. I don't have the details with me of exactly which ones they missed, but it doesn't really matter. They've got the penalty. They will definitely take a joker and move up and start high up, because now the job comes with looking after the guys at the top. And it's not just Henk. Remember, Toyota's the manufacturer that's trying to win this thing. So they've got Yazid, they've got Toby Price, and Henk. And out of those 3, and don't forget, Toyota have put a bucket load of money into this thing and they want to win it. So it's a team effort, and they'll pull everybody together to drive through tomorrow. We've got a shortened stage, which we'll talk about that, but more particularly on Wednesday and Thursday for the marathon stage. Yeah. So it's, there's jokers and it's still a race, hey?
Yeah, it's like you said, and Brady Cox said something similar in his interview after finishing the stage today. He said that the racing starts tomorrow. And I think that's what it is that you've got to basically get through this chrono stage and then give yourself the best shot of finishing the race, and now you can start to push. But it hasn't worked out so well for the cars. It's been a bit of a, like you said, what is that poem you opened with? Bang, bang, crash.
Crash, boom, bang. who sings that song? There's a competition for you. We've got a motel.
What, do I get a free motel hat?
All right, so let's get on to the overall position of the cars. By now, we've mentioned that Henk Lategan and Brett Cummings are in the lead. And earlier today, we tried to have a video call with them. That was not possible. So we turned the pictures off, and we just had a soundy one. But we'll play that when Rihanna's ready to get that played. If you didn't see the interview, the rest of the interview that we had with Glenn Hall yesterday, it is up on the YouTube channel. Have a look at it. To me, it was a very, very special moment. So let's hear from Brett and Henk. Henk Lategan, Brett Cummings. I'm looking at the timing, the overall timing, and I see your names at the front. 4 minutes, 45 seconds in the lead. So Toyota 1-2. I know it's so early in the rally, but it's got to be a really good feeling.
No, thank you. But it's still, like you said, it's very, very early in the race, and this year it looks like they've up the difficulty again. The past 2 years, from what I can hear from Brett from last year and the year that we did it last together, was already really difficult. But I think this year they're really starting to test all of us, the cars and the drivers and the navigators. So it's very far from over. We haven't done a lot. We've done the Chrono stage, our first Chrono stage together. So that's at least one tick off the box. But yeah, there's still a really long way to go. So I don't think there's not time right now to get ahead of ourselves. We haven't even gotten to I think a quarter of the distance. So still a really long way to go. So we need to just keep our heads down and stay focused and carry on with the job.
I heard something a little bit earlier, that one of the comments that you made was the route yesterday and today was particularly tough on the body, over dunes and into the really, really soft sand. And it's those sort of things that add up over a couple of days just to make this an even tougher race.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, or let's say the first day, they tried to explain it to us, or when it was explained as a bit of an easier opener, and it was more of an eye opener.
I think the words they used was it was a complete stage, and a lot of the terrain, there was a bit of everything. There was a lot of fast stuff. There was camel grass, there was small dunes, there was big dunes, there was riverbeds, canyons, there was everything, and rocks as well.
Yeah.
And they also had some GPS go down. Also GPS that went down
was
to
stage
give you
one.
Challenge.
Yeah, that was a very difficult thing because initially, because of that error on the GPS, they landed up giving us a penalty. But after reviewing the actual data and seeing what actually transpired, they landed up taking that penalty away, which we're quite happy about.
That must have been a massive relief. And, we see the penalties coming through now from today for Nasser and Yazid. Do you think there's chance of those penalties also being a GPS error?
We don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
It's so difficult here. Sometimes even when you think you are correct, the rules. So whatever is written in black and white gets applied. I mean, in the past we've had rules that have been changed straight after we got the penalty for them. So what's written in the book at the time has to be applied. So It's usually quite difficult to get a penalty overturned, but it does happen, obviously.
But on to more interesting notes. Last night you were camping, and I saw some of the motorbike food with like a plastic bag that you mushed, and then it became hot and all of that. What was food like last night?
Better than last year, let's put it that way, but it was below par.
And we saw on the rules, or the note on the briefing, that it said no shower and no WC facilities. Did you really have to dig a hole?
I think I got stage fright. Nothing happened this morning.
These are all the fun parts of Dakar. Yes, the racing is the most important part, but everything that surrounds it just adds to the complete experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're bringing things like this in. I mean, we have the marathon stage still to come in 2 days. And this Chrono is something really interesting. They always talk about the spirit of Dakar, and I think what they mean is we'd like to let you suffer a bit, and this just adds to that. So, yeah, taking away the showers and making you sleep in a tent and on the tallest, hardest mattress you can find is part of, I guess, the spirit of Dakar. So I think it's part of this race. It's why it's so difficult to do well here. It's not just a 3-day or a 5-day race that you sort of can go ahead and do it, or sort of get through it, and you can make 1 or 2 mistakes here and there. But I mean, to put 5,000 kilometers together that's really difficult as it is, and then they throw in things like a marathon and a chrono stage just to tire you out a little bit, to get your or the body gets tired, you get tired, you don't sleep well, and all of that starts adding up, and when you start making the small mistakes. So it's good that we haven't had too many issues so far, and although last night was not the greatest sleep, we've been resting well and eating well so far, so it's going well so far.
And after the marathon stage, I guess Friday, the rest day, is you're really going to look forward to that.
Yeah, I think rest day is always something that you look forward to, but it's over in a flash. You've also got a lot of things to do on the rest day, so you keep yourself busy, and you just catch up on a few things that you don't get to while you're racing.
And then I suppose the second week that's when Dakar really starts. If you make it into day after rest day, or make it through day after rest day, notorious for little slips happening, then you can actually start racing.
I'm sorry, Colin, your sound is gone.
Well, are we back yet? We can edit because we're recording it.
Yeah, you're back.
I was saying that after rest day, you go back into the race, and if you make it through day 1, then you can really work out the strategies of where the real race starts happening.
I mean, at the moment, there was a bit of strategy you could see on day 1, not to open the chrono. I think from here, there's not too much strategy coming into play for the next few days. But then again, in the second week, we have a few days where the bikes and the cars split, which means you have to make completely new tracks. So the navigation becomes really difficult. So the first car on the road usually loses a bit of time. So there we might see some strategy come back into play, but we'll get there when we get there. At the moment, we just need to keep it clean for the next few days.
And Henk, sort of a tough question. How's your shoulder feeling?
It's feeling good. On day 1, it was a little bit tender, but funny enough, over the chrono stage, it was 100%. It felt a lot better.
Did it get rigged into position properly?
It was a bit of a shock getting into the car for the first day, but honestly, everything feels better after the chrono. I was a little bit sore and tender, my back and shoulder and everything after day 1, and after the first day of the chrono, I felt better than I did on the end of day 1, and after today, I feel better than both of those. So it's going upwards.
Oh, that's the right kind of trajectory that you want. Guys, I know you've got a really busy schedule. You've got some things to do, and really appreciate you taking this time out to talk to us. And just from the whole of the South African motorsport community, and actually the whole country, let every South African know that we're behind you. You know, we've got 6 South African cars in the top 10 at the moment, a South African crew leading it. We, as South Africa, are super proud of you. Keep it going, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it.
You've got to love the spirit of those guys, hey? And we're just talking about the difference that a good result can make. And you can just see there, they are relaxed, they chill, they focused. They know the job that they've got to do, and they'll go and do it. So while we were listening to that, and sorry about the pictures, but the Saudi signal is worse than our signal in the middle of the Karoo. So while that we were busy with that, the start list came out for tomorrow. So the first are the same. Lategan 4th, Nasser 5th, Seradori 6th, Loeb 7th. And then it starts getting interesting. Brian Baragwanath in 17th, Janil 24th, Gutierrez 26, Roma 27, and you see how those two things are together. And then Saud Variawe 29, Daniel Schroeder 31. I haven't been able to find Bottrell yet because we came back to camera. But while you ask the next question, I'll look for Bottrell on this.
Okay. Mike Nathan, I'm just going to edit your comment here quickly because Collins just covered that Variawa isn't out of the stage. Yazid and Henk will give it horns till the boss steps in. Then Angela Marcia, who cares what happened? The guys are okay and the car's being repaired.
Yeah.
Long way to go. Anything can and will happen in an endurance race, 100%. Yaku Herbst, glad the two Toyotas came in. Don't think I agree with your comment of the Ford sounding the best ever. The V8 Hiluxes used to run the RCF engine and used to sound much better.
Yeah,
Colin,
but it wasn't
thoughts?
flat crank and it didn't rev to $8,000.
I mean, I'll let you guys fight it out. Let's have a look here. Then we've got Bentley. Janelle has time. Return to him for refueling. 1 minute 41 seconds. I think he's been looking for a little bit more than that, though.
Somebody else has got the notice. Well done.
And then Mohammed Chowdhury, how much does the Toyota cost?
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
It's priceless. Yeah, a lot.
And then Mohammed Chowdhury again, the Toyota V8 sounded much better than the Ford found on the road, dead Ford. What? Ford found on the road?
Found in a rubbish dump. There's all sorts of things. You know, I love the passion between the Ford and the Toyota fans. And the Ford guys will say that the Ford sounds the best. I'm totally impartial. I've got the facts. And the Toyota guys have got their opinions.
So I think that's what makes it cool, is that different strokes, you know. So everyone has their allegiances, and that's what makes it exciting and interesting, you know. So
And when Chevrolet come with their V8 flat plane that comes out of the Corvette, that sounds even better than a Ferrari motor.
So like I said, depends on where you sit, you know. Bentley says, yeah, best ask a Zoo or Overdrive at Mohammed Chowdhury. And then Johan Grobler, he wants to try and win his Motul hat, but I beat him to it. Roxette saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shall we give him the Motul hat?
I mean, we've got a hat to spare, so yeah.
I'm sure we know somebody who can get us some more Motul hats.
I mean, we'd have to ask.
Do you know somebody at Motul?
I might know someone, yeah. Might know someone.
I know somebody at Motul, but I got no chance of getting a hat.
Yeah, that's the other side. But yeah, I'm sure we can organise something, eh?
Okay.
And that's what I've got for the time being, unless there's anything else that's been uplisted. Where are we going tomorrow, Colin? Are you ready? Are you still busy?
Tomorrow
scrolling
we
there?
are going, it's been shortened. So we're going from Bisha to Al Henakaya. Total distance of 847 kilometers. It's quite a drive. It was going to be 495 kilometers of racing. Now they're going northeast, north-southwest. They're going northwest because left is west and right is east. Is that right? Yeah. So they're going northwest, and in that area, in the desert, they've had a lot of rain. And so there's some places where there's some flooding and stuff. And so they want to look after the safety of everybody. So it's been reduced to a total of 327 kilometers of racing, and then they'll just liaise on to the rest of it. For those of you on the terminology, you race over, you sleep here, you race here, you liaise from where you sleep to where you start racing, race a bit, and then liaise to the next place where you sleep some more. So liaise, race,
So
liaise, sleep.
the special
repeat.
is the go part, and then the liaison is a matter of getting there.
Yeah.
So it's like me pulling my superbike with a trailer to Swartkorps. That's the liaison.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. You've got to get there, and then once you're there, you race.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
100%.
should have a thing like that in South Africa.
What liaison with?
No, so like if the race is in, I don't know, Botswana, you start at your house and you have to drive your race vehicle to the start of the cross-country race and then carry on from there.
I think with the caliber of drivers we have, the little incident we had with the Toyotas will be the least of people's worries.
So they were talking about something, Brett and Henk. There are three things that you need to do on Dakar. Eat when you can, sleep when you can, and download when you can. So those are the three fundamental tenets of Dakar. Do those three things well, and you'll be fine. Right, what else we got there?
I'm struggling a bit here with connectivity. Let's see if we can get back in here.
Well, I'm also struggling with trying to find the start order for Guy. But I think if Guy's mom would send us the details, or Simon, please can you send us the start time, because now that it's absolutely fascinating, and the racing community is pretty close, and the banter that goes backwards and forwards between all the different people, it's a lot of fun. It makes it just a little bit more exciting, the racing a little bit more exciting. And there are times when, I say to you, just wait a little bit, wait an hour before you start watching the timing. I can't do that. I mean, I was up this morning at the same time that they started, and
Oh, Colin. You and your advice that you don't follow.
And I mean, you must have watched Le Mans 24 hours, Daytona 24 hours. You watch the whole race. That's the whole thing of it. You got to live it.
Absolutely.
It's the passion that we've got.
Brian Bland, we need you to sing happy birthday to Alfie. It's his
Yes,
birthday
it
today.
is.
It
The
is,
great Alfie Cox. I'm sorry we forgot that. Oh, it slipped our mind. We're holding the best till the last. Alfie, happy birthday, young man. You've got to be very proud of making it, surviving it without more broken bones than you have, and well done, and hope you have a great year. Enjoy this race. Your son's doing good.
Should we move it on here?
They really want us to sing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are trying to encourage us to sing, but the music moves us and makes us sound ugly, so let's just leave it there, hey?
No, we have to watch for copyright. We're worried that we get a strike on YouTube and they ban the film.
Cass Kruger, Colin, with your comment that they target the fatigue on the bodies, I can't help but wonder why Dacia fitted dampers on the driver's seats. Do they maybe know something the rest didn't?
I'm not aware of the dampers on the driver's seats, but certainly there's a lot of padding and on the normal seats. As far as I'm aware, the seats, there's a specific mounting for the seats, and I'm not aware of an FIA-approved damping system. There's foam that's very carefully specified, and they are looking at if your bum, let's put it this way, you sit like this, and if your bum is here, they're trying to look at putting more cushioning here so that the biggest injury that the drivers or the crew have got in cars is compression, fractures of the spine. So they're trying to look at ways of minimizing that. But certainly driver comfort is a massive, massive thing in cars. Air conditioner, correct seating position, making sure the feet are up so that the blood doesn't collect. Because if your feet are down like this, your heart's got to work to pump the blood up your legs, back to the brain and things. So if you put the legs a little bit like this, then the heart doesn't have to work so hard. So it's a lot less fatigue on drivers.
That's pretty cool.
Driver position
that,
things.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Keep them cool, keep them comfortable. Also looking at because then you've got the seat that comes around and there's regulations of where it sits. And if it's a little bit too close and the padding is too hard, then as you go over the road and you'll get knocked, your brain gets a little bit fatigued on the inside. So there's lots of many little things. The glare, you'll see some of the cars have got polarized windscreens, and some of them have got polarized or infrared and all the rest of glare-resistant glass. Difficulty of that is that it can also change the depth perception.
All right, let's move on here, because we're going to run out of time. Jaco Herbst, hulle weet nog nie wat ons weet nie, go SA.
Yes.
Angelo Marcia, Colin, that Chev Corvette V8 is a reverse engineered Ferrari 458, but they didn't know what a flat plane crank was until they saw the Rory crank.
Angela, you're probably right, but as an engineer yourself, they did some good product development on it.
Frederick Gaines, South African riding time, please. What are we referring to on the South African riding time?
When they start riding tomorrow.
I'll have
Very
to
good
check.
question.
Yeah.
We'll tell you the answer to that. The cars start at 8:15 Saudi time, so 7:15 tomorrow morning.
Sure.
They get going.
Is that what time you'll be out of bed?
I think I'll be out of bed before then.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back from the holiday lurking, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. Before 6 o'clock, must be out of the bed and doing stuff. And
Andrew Sparks says, yeah, this is highlighted in red. Carlos Sainz has withdrawn.
okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
highlighted in red.
news
here,
to
so,
us. Thank
yeah.
you for sharing that.
Johan Grobler, Dakar is like trying to reach a cat house on top of a mountain with a sack of rattlesnakes on your back. I think that's probably the best way to explain exactly what it is. Kevin Retief, hey guys, glad to be back for another exciting year. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like every year the South Africans just get stronger and stronger. So there's just more and more invested in for all of us to watch it and support it, you know.
No, absolutely. It's absolutely stunning. You know, we've got a large contingent of cars. There's a huge contingent of bikers. There's marshals. There's caterers. There's the crew. We can't wait for the rest of the world to come to South Africa for the Southern Sun City round of the World Rally Raid Championship, and to actually get a little bit of an insight to wat ons weet.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll
yeah.
never really understand that expression. It's a uniquely South African thing.
Yeah, let's have a look here. Then Freddie van der Merwe, thanks for all the updates. Glad all our guys are still in it, fighting for the win. Just keep racing. Mama Shawty wants to know what's for food today. Oh,
I
good
think
one.
we had really good food. The catering department, lucky external catered, which I think is it wasn't self-made. However, the criteria is that food is available and that it does its job and does its job properly. So I think our catering department, today's manager, catering director, executive director, did a pretty sound job.
Oh, really? I'm quite surprised that you were going to go that route. So what do you score out of 10?
Considering who he is, 11.5 out of 10.
Oh, my. Wow.
I've got to suck up to the boss.
Checks in the mail. I like how it was beautifully gift wrapped.
Presented properly.
Yeah, in the yellow and white wax paper. That was quite nice. I felt like Christmas was still going by unwrapping my sandwich with meat in it.
Was it meat?
I mean, that's what they say it is, so can't be wrong. Americans can't be wrong if they say it's meat, but it could be anything. So I'm going to go with, I live on the edge in answer to no one. I'm going to go with 5.5. I'm just glad that I ate for once and the food was warm, so I'll give it 5.5.
Yeah, but it was my scale out of 10, my 10.5.
I mean, you do what you need to do, eh? We all got to feed our families. So yeah, the catering.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Catering was there.
Yeah,
that's what we can say.
It was present, which is better than a punch in the eye with a blunt stick.
Absolutely. So
Right,
yeah.
what's happening? We know what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, short one, fast one. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Well, it is short. It's only 327 k's racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of 4 hours and they're done.
That's it. Yeah.
So by lunchtime, our time, they're done, and then we can try and hopefully there'll be a better signal in Al Henakaya. Yeah. And I'm still surprised that they haven't got Starlink there. When we go next year, we'll have to take a Starlink with us, apparently. And it's going to be, I think it'll be a recovery day for Sun.
Yeah.
But I fully expect NASA to go on maximum attack with Yazid. And for Lategan, he's just going to do his race, do his thing. And off camera, in some of the other interviews, he said they weren't having a full-on go. He was driving well within himself. Expect more of it tomorrow. But the sharp end with Yazid and NASA, they're going to have a full-on go. And Loeb is desperate to beat his teammate and try and win a Dakar. And that's it.
Oh, yeah. I think in the bikes, I think the racing starts tomorrow. I think it's time for the guys to put some daylight in. But can anyone catch the Aussie? That's the next step. As long as Ross and Brady can stay in contention, who knows what will happen.
Yeah, and who's the Texan with the moustache?
Old Skylar House.
Skylar House.
Yeah, he's my new favourite, seeing as Sanders cut off the mullet.
Yeah.
A good stash is a fast stash.
I remember we interviewed him, I don't know, 3 years ago. It's quite hilarious. Proper American. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. To our technical team and our new Peter, welcome back. Good to have you back with the team. We've got a full house in the control room next door. Cliffy, thank you for a great day today. And for you who's been watching and commenting, thank you so much. And remember, be nice, be kind, be careful, and above all,
don't be a chicken.